Good afternoon. This is All India Radio. I am Valsa Williams and with me is Abhishek Mukhopadhyay with the Midday News. The headlines. Over 86 lakh doses of COVID vaccine administered on a single day as country achieves landmark inoculation milestone. Government says country has capacity to administer 1.25 crore doses of COVID vaccine on a single day. India's active COVID-19 caseload declines to around 7 lakh. National recovery rate improves to 96.49%. New COVID cases decline as the country reports over 42,000 cases in the last 24 hours. Bharat Biotech submits data from Phase 3 trials of the Covaxin vaccine to the Drugs Controller General of India. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to interact with participants of Toykathon 2021 on Thursday. Government proposes several amendments in e-commerce rules to bring in transparency. European Union and the UK slap fresh sanctions against Myanmar over military coup. New Zealand to resume their first innings at 101 for 2 on day 5 in World Test Championship final in Southampton. And in Euro Cup football, England takes on Czech Republic in London's Wembley Stadium tonight. Croatia plays against Scotland in Glasgow. As the nation gears up for free COVID-19 vaccination campaign at government facilities for those above 18 years, we advise our listeners to get vaccinated. We also advise our listeners not to lower their guard as COVID-19 remains a threat to our health. Please stay at home unless it is essential to go out and continue to follow these 4 simple steps. Wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki duri for social distancing, focus on hand and face hygiene and get vaccinated. For any COVID-related information and guidance, contact National Helpline numbers 011 2397 8046 and 1075. And now the news. India has crossed a major landmark with administration of more than 29 crore 10 lakh COVID vaccine doses to beneficiaries so far. The Union Health Ministry has informed that more than 86 lakh 16,000 vaccine doses were given in the country in the last 24 hours. Since this morning, nearly 23 lakh doses have been administered in the country so far. So far, nearly 24 crore people in the country have received their first dose of the COVID vaccine, whereas nearly 5 crore 15 lakh have been fully vaccinated with both the doses. The Union Health Ministry has said vaccination is an integral pillar of the comprehensive strategy of the government for containment and management of the pandemic, along with test, track, treat and COVID-appropriate behavior. Since yesterday, the centre has started the largest free vaccination campaign in the world, where 75% of the total vaccine cleared by the Central Drug Lab in the country is being supplied completely free of cost to all the states and union territories. Under the new policy, procurement and funding for vaccination at all government facilities in every state and union territory to beneficiaries of all age groups will be done by the centre. More from our correspondent.
COVID vaccine is an effective tool in the fight against the coronavirus. Vaccine provides immunity from this disease. With the active support of states and union territories, the central government is continuously engaged in expanding the scope of nationwide COVID vaccination drive. The vaccination drive has picked up pace with the availability of more vaccines and improvement in the vaccine supply chain. During the last month, more than 7.9 crore vaccines were available for the vaccination exercise. These were ramped up to 11.78 crore in this month. Advanced information about the availability of vaccines provided by the central government to states and union territories helped in better administration of vaccines to beneficiaries at the ground level. Under the new phase of vaccination, all citizens above the age of 18 years can avail free vaccination at any government facilities. Bhupendra Singh, AIR News, Delhi.
Chairperson, National Technical Advisory Group on Immunization in India, NTAGI, Dr. N. K. Arora said, India has the capacity to administer 1.25 crore doses a day. He said the dosage achieved yesterday is a huge achievement. Speaking to DD News, Dr. Arora said the target is to vaccinate at least 1 crore people every day. He, however, said the country will easily be able to administer 1.25 crore doses of COVID-19 vaccine every day. Dr. Arora said that this target is especially achievable in the wake of good support from private sector, and this was proven yesterday when revised guidelines came into force. The NTAGI chairperson emphasized on the significance of people's participation and public awareness in order to avoid rumors and misconceptions against vaccination.
लोगों को बढ़ चढ़ के सब कुछ आपके सामने है, लेकिन आखिर में तो जनता को आना है आगे और टीका लगवाना है। तो जन भागीदारी और जन जागरण और एक अभियान चलाने की जरूरत है कि जहां पर इस समय अफवाहें फैली जाती हैं, गलत इन्फॉर्मेशन होती है, लोगों के मन में एक अजीब किस्म का डर होता है जिसका कोई एक अस्तित्व नहीं है, लेकिन उनके मन में डर लगा होता है। तो उन सबको दूर करने की जरूरत है और उसके लिए भी ऑलरेडी तैयारी हुई है, कार्यक्रम पूरा शुरू किया गया है।
The chairperson assured that there won't be any issue regarding availability of vaccine. On dosage interval of Covishield vaccines, the chairperson said that no need is felt at the moment to change the interval.
एक नेशनल वैक्सीन ट्रैकिंग सिस्टम और या प्लेटफॉर्म बनाया गया है और उसमें देखा जा रहा है कि जो वैक्सीन्स हैं उनका क्या प्रभाव है, वैक्सीन जिनके 2 डोजेज के बीच में इंटरवल है उनका क्या प्रभाव है, साथ ही साथ देश के डिफरेंट हिस्सों में वैक्सीन का क्या प्रभाव है, वेरिएंट्स का क्या प्रभाव है, ये सारा का सारा बिल्कुल एक तरीके से रियल टाइम में इनका इवैल्यूएशन किया जा रहा है। फिलहाल ऐसा कोई सोच नहीं है कि इस बारे में कुछ ज्यादा कोई अंतर करने की जरूरत नहीं है।
Member Niti Aayog Dr. V.K. Paul has said quick vaccination is the key to open the economy and go back to normal. Speaking to DD News, he said that the day one vaccination figures demonstrate India's ability to carry out vaccination on large scale for days and weeks together. He said this was possible because of planning and coordination between central and state governments and taking up the task work on mission mode. Dr. Paul reminded that a third wave can be stopped if COVID-appropriate behavior is followed by all.
अगर हम कोविड अप्रोप्रिएट बिहेवियर अपनाते हैं, भीड़ नहीं करते, सोशल डिस्टेंसिंग मेंटेन करते हैं, हम मास्क लगाते हैं, अपने बुजुर्गों को घर में रहते हैं, पार्टियां नहीं करेंगे, तो ये टाइम निकल जाएगा और इस बीच में हमारी वैक्सीनेशन की जो काम जो है वो बड़े स्केल पे पूरा हो जाएगा। उसके बाद कोरोना जो है वो पीछे हट जाएगा और देश आगे बढ़ सकता है।
The Health and Family Welfare Ministry has said the country is registering significant decline in active COVID caseloads and fresh cases, and the recovery rate has further improved to 96.49%. The country registered a total of 42,640 new COVID cases in the last 24 hours. For the first time in 91 days, less than 50,000 new cases were registered. A total of 1,167 deaths have also been reported in the country in the last 24 hours, taking the toll to over 3,89,000 across the country. It said the country has registered a decline of over 40,000 active cases in the last 24 hours. The active case loads presently comprise 2.21% of the cumulative positive cases, and it is continuously declining. At present, there are over 6,62,000 active cases in the country. The country is also witnessing a declining trend in the weekly and daily positivity rate. India's weekly positivity rate currently stands at 3.21% and daily positivity rate is at 2.56%. This is the 15th consecutive day when the country has reported a daily positivity rate below 5%. India's daily recoveries continue to outnumber the daily new cases for the 40th consecutive day. A total of 81,839 patients have recovered from coronavirus disease within 24 hours. Over 2 crore 89 lakh patients have already recovered from this infectious disease so far. Meanwhile, testing capacities have been ramped up in the country for the early detection of coronavirus. Indian Council of Medical Research has informed that over 16,64,000 COVID tests were conducted yesterday.
In Assam, over 3.5 lakh people were vaccinated yesterday. The Assam government had set the target to vaccinate 3 lakh people every day for 10 days. The health department has vaccinated 50,000 people beyond the set target yesterday. Vaccination campaign in Karnataka has been accelerated and around 3,898 vaccination centers across the state are engaged in vaccinating priority sectors of the society. The health department has deployed more numbers of vaccinating personnel, doctors, staff nurses, ASHA workers, home guards and marshals to create awareness on the vaccination drive. The street vendors, garment workers, cab and auto rickshaw drivers, APMC market traders, bank staff, hotel staff, building workers are being administered the vaccine. Karnataka Chief Minister announced a one-time relief of 3,000 rupees to 20,713 cinema and TV artists. The artists facing difficulties due to wage loss under COVID-imposed lockdown are being extended financial assistance by the state government. An amount of 6.23 crore rupees will be transferred to all the identified artists through direct benefit transfer platform. The state government has announced a financial package of 2,050 crore rupees till date during the second wave of the COVID pandemic.
Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath has asked officials to make all preparations for the vaccination of 10 to 11 lakh beneficiaries per day from the month of July. He expressed satisfaction over the success of the first day of mega vaccination drive started in the state yesterday. More from a Lucknow correspondent.
7,29,197 beneficiaries were inoculated in the state yesterday, which was above the set target of 6 lakh jabs daily. Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath said that this progress must continue in the coming days also. The state has administered more than 2 crore 63 lakh doses of COVID vaccines till date. The new phase of COVID vaccination drive started with an aim to administer 6 lakh doses per day and subsequently increasing the same to 10 to 12 lakh doses per day from the first week of July. Currently, the drive is running on more than 7,200 vaccination centers in the state, and the aim is to increase this number to 10,000 centers. Sushil Chandra Tiwari, AIR News, Lucknow.
Maharashtra has maintained top position in COVID-19 vaccination in the country with administering more than 2.8 crore doses. Yesterday, more than 3,82,000 beneficiaries were inoculated in the state. More from a Mumbai correspondent.
Maharashtra is the only state in country which has crossed the milestone of 2.8 crore doses of COVID-19 vaccine. More than 2 crore 25 lakh citizens of the state are inoculated with first dose of COVID-19 vaccine, while more than 55 lakhs have received the second dose. From Saturday, free vaccination of beneficiaries between age group of 30 to 44 was begun. From today, state government has allowed vaccination of citizens between age group of 18 to 29 in government hospitals. Few districts have begun vaccination of beneficiaries between this age group from today itself, while Pune and other districts will start it from tomorrow. Jivan Bhavsar, AIR News, Mumbai.
Madhya Pradesh has become the first state in the country to achieve more than 15 lakh COVID vaccinations against the 10 lakh target set on the mega vaccination drive on International Yoga Day. More from a Bhopal correspondent.
On World Yoga Day, Chief Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan inaugurated the mega vaccination drive at 7,000 centers in Madhya Pradesh. A unique example was set in the country as more than 15 lakh people were administered the vaccine. This is about 20% of the total vaccination done in the country yesterday. Chief Minister, while congratulating all persons involved in vaccination drive, said that these vaccination figures are proving that the people of the state are ready to fight against the third wave of corona. Pooja Vardhan, AIR News, Bhopal.
In Bihar, as many as 4,88,732 people were vaccinated against COVID-19 on the first day of the mega drive launched across the state yesterday. Over 3,81,345 doses of COVID vaccines were administered to beneficiaries in the age group of 18 to 44 years. Over 1 crore 42 lakh people have been vaccinated in the state so far. Meanwhile, the state is witnessing a sharp decline in fresh COVID cases. The state's recovery rate has risen to 98%. The number of active cases is also decreasing and presently stands at 3,016. 6,000 vaccination centers have been set up for this purpose. A task force has been constituted at the block level for intensive vaccination in each district of the state. Delta Plus variant of the COVID virus has been detected in the districts of Palakkad and Pathanamthitta in Kerala. In Palakkad, the new variant was confirmed in 2 women who are above 50 years and were COVID positive during the months of April and May. In Pathanamthitta, the variant was confirmed in Kadappara Panchayat in a 14-year-old boy. He was tested positive on the 24th of May but now has recovered completely. The health department has alerted the public about the new strain. Bharat Biotech has submitted data from Phase 3 trials of the Covaxin vaccine to the Drugs Controller General of India, DCGI. Covaxin is among 3 vaccines being used in the nationwide drive against COVID-19. It was granted approval by the DCGI in January, along with the Oxford University AstraZeneca vaccine, which is being manufactured by the Pune-based Serum Institute of India SII as Covishield. A third vaccine, Russia's Sputnik V, was also granted emergency use authorization in April.
Congress leader Rahul Gandhi today released a white paper on the government's COVID management. Mr. Gandhi said the aim of this white paper is not finger-pointing at the government, but to help the nation prepare for the possible third wave of COVID. He said that the management of the first and the second wave of COVID was not as per the requirement. Mr. Gandhi, however, appreciated yesterday's nationwide inoculation as highest number of vaccines were administered on a single day. The Congress leader said the government did good work and hoped it will continue till the entire population gets vaccinated. BJP today criticized Congress leader Rahul Gandhi for accusing the government of having failed to prevent the second wave of COVID-19. Talking to reporters, party spokesperson Sambit Patra alleged that whenever there is a turning point in the fight against COVID, Mr. Gandhi and the Congress have tried to do politics over it. He accused Congress of trying to derail the battle against the pandemic.
पूरे विश्व में हिंदुस्तान एकमात्र ऐसा देश बना जिसने एक ही दिन में लगभग 87 लाख वैक्सीनेशन पूरे देश में ये जो वैक्सीनेशन ड्राइव रहा वो अपने आप में एक ऐतिहासिक मोड़ पे जाके खड़ा होता है। किंतु दुखद है कि आज सुबह राहुल गांधी ने प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस करके एक व्हाइट पेपर की बात की है और कहीं न कहीं अड़ंगा लगाने का काम किया है। आरंभ में ही राहुल गांधी और कांग्रेस पार्टी ने जब भी इस लड़ाई में निर्णायक मोड़ आए उस समय उन्होंने राजनीति करने की भरसक प्रयास की। कहीं न कहीं इस लड़ाई को डिरेल करने का अथक परिश्रम राहुल गांधी ने किया है।
You are listening to the Midday News on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Over 86 lakh doses of COVID vaccine administered on a single day as the country achieves landmark inoculation milestone. Government says country has capacity to administer 1.25 crore doses of COVID vaccine on a single day. India's active COVID-19 caseload declines to around 7 lakh. National recovery rate improves to 96.49%. New COVID cases decline as the country reports over 42,000 cases in the last 24 hours. Bharat Biotech submits data from phase 3 trials of the Covaxin vaccine to the Drugs Controller General of India. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to interact with participants of Toycathon 2021 on Thursday. Government proposes several amendments in e-commerce rules to bring in transparency. European Union and UK slap fresh sanctions against Myanmar over military coup. New Zealand to resume the first innings at 101 for 2 on day 5 in the World Test Championships final in Southampton. And in Euro Cup football, England take on Czech Republic in London's Wembley Stadium tonight. Croatia plays against Scotland in Glasgow. For quick news updates around the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts.
चलो मिलकर एक शुरुआत करें, चलो एक फैसला आज करें, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे, चलो एक इरादा करते हैं, चलो खुद से वादा करते हैं, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे।
The Centre is disseminating awareness of national helpline numbers for the benefit of citizens during the COVID-19 pandemic. The helpline number of the Health and Family Welfare Ministry is 1075. The Child Helpline number is 1098. For senior citizens of Delhi, Karnataka, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Tamil Nadu, Telangana, Uttar Pradesh and Uttarakhand, the helpline number is 14567. The helpline number of the National Institute of Mental Health and Neurosciences, NIMHANS, for psychological support is 08046110007. The Ayush COVID-19 Counselling Helpline number is 14443. And MyGov WhatsApp help desk number is 9013151515.
Welcome back to the Midday News. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will interact with participants of Toycathon 2021 on Thursday via video conferencing. Toycathon 2021 was jointly launched by the Ministry of Education, WCD Ministry, MSME Ministry, DPIIT, Textile Ministry, INB Ministry and AICTE on the 5th of January this year to crowdsource innovative toys and games ideas. Around 1.2 lakh participants from across India registered and submitted more than 17,000 ideas for Toycathon 2021, out of which 1,567 ideas have been shortlisted for the 3 days online Toycathon Grand Finale, being held from today till the 24th of June. Due to COVID-19 restrictions, this grand finale will have themes with digital toy ideas, while a separate physical event will be organized for non-digital toy concepts. Our correspondent reports that the Union Minister of Education will also be present on the occasion. The Union Government has proposed several amendments in the e-commerce rules to bring transparency and curb the prevalent unfair trade practices in the online marketing platforms. The government is sharing a draft of the proposed amendments to the Consumer Protection E-Commerce Rules 2020 to protect the interests of consumers and encourage free and fair competition in the market. According to the proposed rules, the e-commerce platforms will need to appoint a chief compliance officer, a nodal officer, a resident grievance officer and other officials to ensure compliance with the provisions of the Act and rules. It has been proposed to put in place a framework for registration of every e-commerce entity with the Department for Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade for allotment of registration number. This registration number will be displayed prominently on the website as well as the invoice of every order.
Prices of housing in major cities in the country went up by 2.7% last year despite the pandemic. Reserve Bank of India yesterday released quarterly house price index for the last quarter of financial year 2020-21. It is based on transaction-level data received from housing registration authorities in Ahmedabad, Bengaluru, Chennai, Delhi, Jaipur, Kanpur, Kochi, Kolkata, Lucknow and Mumbai, these 10 major cities. In financial year 2020-21, all India HPI increased by 2.7% vis-a-vis 3.9% growth in financial year 2019-20. In Bengaluru, HPI increased by 15.7%, while it contracted by 3.6% in Jaipur. On a quarter-on-quarter basis, all India HPI growth rate moderated to 0.2% in quarter 4 of 2020-21. Delhi, Bengaluru, Kolkata and Jaipur recorded a decline in HPI, whereas it increased for other cities. The Supreme Court has ordered the Tamil Nadu government to conduct local body elections for the 9 newly formed districts in the state. The court said that the government should declare the results of the elections before September 15th. Elections are to be conducted in Viluppuram, Ranipet, Kalakkurichi, Tirunelveli, Tenkasi, Vellore, Tirupattur, Kanchipuram and Chengalpattu.
In the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir, the People's Alliance for Gupkar Declaration PAGD today said they will attend the forthcoming all-party meeting called by Prime Minister Narendra Modi on June the 24th at New Delhi. Talking to reporters in Srinagar, Dr. Farooq Abdullah, President of National Conference, said their agenda in the meeting would be to represent the aspirations of the people of Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh.
वज़ीर आज़म की तरफ से दावतनामा आया है और हम उस दावतनामे में जाने वाले हैं। वहाँ पे हमें उम्मीद है कि हम अपने जो मौक़िफ़ है उसको वहाँ पे वज़ीर आज़म साहब और होम मिनिस्टर साहब के सामने रखें।
He said the PAGD leaders have decided to attend the meeting where everyone will put forth their points of view. The European Union and the United Kingdom yesterday slapped fresh sanctions on Myanmar state-owned entities and individuals over the military coup in February and the security crackdown that followed. According to the statement, the 27-member European bloc imposed an asset freeze and a travel ban on 8 Myanmar officials, among them the Home Affairs Minister, responsible for the police force, and slapped sanctions on 3 companies that are state-owned or controlled by the military. In a statement, British Foreign Secretary Dominic Raab said the move sends a clear message to Myanmar that the UK will not allow financial support that props up the military regime following the coup. This comes after the G7 leaders on Sunday strongly condemned the military coup in Myanmar and the subsequent violence.
In Sports Roundup, All India Radio brings the latest news updates in national and international sports arena throughout the day. And with only 32 days to go for the beginning of India's Olympic quest to the Tokyo Games, we focus specially on some of the promising Indian medal contenders. Today we profile India's young wrestler Deepak Punia.
Born on May 19, 1999 in Jhajjar, Haryana, Deepak has been seeded second by World Wrestling Body for Olympics in the 86 kg category. Deepak won a silver medal at the 2019 World Wrestling Championships in the freestyle 86 kg category and secured a place for Japan. Deepak's father and grandfather competed in local dangals in Jhajjar town, and he used to accompany them since he was 4 years old. In order to earn some quick money to fund his career, Deepak started participating in local competitions after watching his cousin Sunil Kumar, who happened to be a well-known name in the dangal circuit. It was in 2015 that Deepak was taken to the Chhatrasal Stadium for formal training by his cousin. Navnita Adhikari, Sports Desk.
In the World Test Championship final match in Southampton, India and New Zealand players were frustrated by the weather again as another day was completely washed out by rain. Persistent rain hung around throughout the fourth day until the play was abandoned for the day. Only 141.1 overs have been possible so far. New Zealand will resume the first innings from 101 runs for the loss of 2 wickets today. They are trailing India by 116 runs. India made 217 in the first innings. A reserve 6th day is in place, so 2 days remain, but the draw is now the clear favourite for the inaugural final. In the Euro 2020 football, Belgium, Netherlands and Austria and Denmark reached the last 16 stage. The Netherlands registered a 3-0 win over North Macedonia in Group C match at Amsterdam. The Dutch had already sealed the top spot in the group. They will play the last 16th match in Budapest on Sunday. In another Group C game, Austria defeated Ukraine 1-0 to enter the last 16th stage for the first time in the Euro. The win put Austria in second place with 6 points. They will face Italy in the pre-quarterfinals in London on Saturday. In Group B clash in Copenhagen, Denmark set up a last 16 tie with Wales after an emphatic 4-1 victory over Russia to finish second in the group. In another Group B match at St. Petersburg, Belgium secured the third win of the tournament by beating Finland 2-0 in a hard-fought match to qualify for the last 16. There will be 2 Group D matches tonight. In London's Wembley Stadium, England will take on Czech Republic, while in Hampden Park, Glasgow, Croatia will clash with Scotland.
Now let us take a look at the weather forecast for today. The national capital Delhi is likely to see a partly cloudy sky with maximum temperature reaching up to 38 degrees Celsius. It recorded a minimum temperature of 29 degrees. Mumbai may see a generally cloudy sky with light rain. Minimum temperature was 26 degrees while maximum is expected to be around 34. Chennai is likely to have thunderstorm with rain. The upper level of temperature will be nearly 39 degrees Celsius, while lower level was 28 degrees. Kolkata will have a generally cloudy sky with a few spells of rain or thunder showers. There will not be much variation in temperature, as minimum was 26 degrees, maximum will be nearly 31 degrees. Jammu is likely to see a partly cloudy sky in the afternoon hours. The minimum temperature was 25 degrees, while the maximum will be around 37. Srinagar will have a partly cloudy sky with possibility of rain or thunderstorm or dust storm. The temperature is likely to rise up to 28 degrees from a minimum of 15 degrees. Leh may have a partly cloudy sky. Maximum temperature will be nearly 24 degrees, while minimum was 11 degrees. Gilgit is likely to have a cloudy sky with possibility of rain or thunderstorm or dust storm. Temperature will hover between 15 and 34 degrees. Muzaffarabad is likely to have a mainly clear sky. It may become partly cloudy towards afternoon or evening. Minimum temperature was 20 degrees Celsius. Maximum will be around 36. And now before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Over 86 lakh doses of COVID vaccine administered on a single day as country achieves landmark inoculation milestone. Government says country has capacity to administer 1.25 crore doses of COVID vaccine on a single day. India's active COVID-19 caseload declines to around 7 lakh. National recovery rate improves to 96.49%. New COVID cases decline as the country reports over 42,000 cases in the last 24 hours. Bharat Biotech submits data from Phase 3 trials of the Covaxin vaccine to the Drugs Controller General of India. from Minister Narendra Modi to interact with participants of Toykathon 2021 on Thursday. Government proposes several amendments on e-commerce rules to bring in transparency. European Union and the UK slapped fresh sanctions against Myanmar over military coup. New Zealand to resume their first innings at 101 for 2 on day 5 at World Test Championship final in Southampton. And in Euro Cup football, England takes on Czech Republic in London's Wembley Stadium tonight. Croatia plays against Scotland in Glasgow. And with that, we end the midday news.